Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Despite the fact that it's December the 5th here, Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, we've had a blinding year. Got some interesting videos and build series coming up this year. I'm going to run through them before I get started on this fucking thing. We're going to sew this guitar up today. We're going to have a demo. We're going to bring the new year in with a finished build. And then we're going to move on to, I'll let you know what the next 3 builds are going to be. The first build you're going to see is Charlie Starr's Telecaster. A simple telly with some embellishments that are a little bit unusual. Series 1. The next series after that, I've been commissioned to build what is potentially the most disgustingly beautiful SG you've ever seen in your life. So I'm bang up for that. That is going to be phenomenal. I'm also going to be doing George Harrison's Telecaster, made out of some wood that someone saved from a building in London, which was built in 1903. Wow. So some really, really old wood. That guitar is going to be given away. It's for a charity auction. I'll let you know more about that at the time. And then also after that, I'm going to build myself a Les Paul. I don't know whether to make myself a greenie, because that'll be popular on YouTube, and it might get me some subscribers, because we're playing that fucking game. Or I've got an immense idea for a Zakk Wylde Les Paul. Something that I've also been toying with in my Barnet. So there you go. Some mental builds on the card. Some really interesting stuff. There's so much I want to do, but only so much time. If you want to build, get hold of me on Instagram, or if you want to get hold of me on email, marlowstudios@hotmail.com, feel free and we'll go through the guff and how it all works. Woo! That'll be amazing. Let's just see how far we get this year with YouTube, shall we? We've got a crispy year. We know what we're doing. I've got a bit of a flow going. I appear like I've got a bit of a flow going. I haven't. My flow's interrupted quite regularly at 43 years of age, but I won't go into that. Get yourself checked, people. I got fingered at 38. What? Funny story about when I got checked. I don't know why I'm going on about this. I went to the doctor's and the doctor was a locum, which in England, if you're not in England, that's a temporary doctor. And it was a gentleman called Nick, and I'd fitted his kitchen about 5 years before. I said, Nick, I've come to have my ass checked. He said, that's fine. You did a lovely job tiling my floor. I'll be super gentle. That is a fucking true story. Now let's move on with this thing. Happy New Year, everyone. I do tell that story at the pub every now and again because it is funny. On with the headless guitar, because I want to be playing this over Christmas, even though it's not Christmas anymore for you. That makes no sense. I've got to fit on my top knobber. That's the first job. Get that all in alignment. I've got to put a nut on here. That's the second order of the business. And between me and you, I'm waiting for a stacked pot. I bought some CTS stacked pots, which were very expensive. You can buy cheaper alternatives. But I bought a CTS because this is YouTube and you have to use Switchcraft switches and jacks. You have to use CTS pots. Otherwise, as you know, you're a fucking psychopath and you're not allowed to do it and all the rest of it. So you've got to use stainless steel frets. I don't use carbon. You know I don't use carbon. This has got an oak neck on it. This neck is stiffer than Ian Brady's cum sock. Now, if that doesn't get me cancelled, I don't know what will. But let's bring the new year in with a bang, shall we? What an episode. If you haven't hit the subscribe button without needing prompting, like a sign that lives behind me at all times, I suggest you do it now, because I might not be here by the end of next year. Let's do those 2 little jobs, shall we? And get whirring on this guitar. Because once I've got those 2 done, I can get this thing, I was going to say wired up. I can't get it. I went off on a tangent then, didn't I? I'm waiting on the correct stacked pot, because this has got the incorrect thin shaft, which does not fit any of my 6mm stacked pot knurled knobbers. So I'm not wiring it up. I'm not going to waste my time on that. I'm going to wait until that stacked pot arrives. We can't hang around for that. We'll have to do that last. We'll do that at the end of the video, shall we? Forthwith. All I'm saying, Mildred, is he better be putting a Graphtec nut in there, otherwise I'm going to firebomb his fucking ass. It's not far off some of the emails you get as a YouTuber. That's interesting, isn't it? This is a Gibson scale length, so when I use my notches to chop it all out, it doesn't cut me a nut slot, which is annoying. So I've got to do it manually. If you can hear the rain in this video, that is because it's raining. Right, so this is a bit blasé, really. I'm going to hold that on there, super tight, and then very lightly going to score that. I'm not pressing down at all. Out comes me cheeky saw. Oh, one other thing I forgot to say is that this year I will be bringing out a signature guitar. It'd be a play on the jazzy shape because that's my favourite. My Richards custom headstock. It'll be a fabric top. Of course it'll be a fabric top. Laminated body, semi-hollow, F-holes or some sort of F-holes. And someone suggested I need to name them all after serial killers because we'd like to make serial killer jokes around here. Not because I'm particularly dark and morbid, it's because you watch so much of that shit on Netflix. It's all me and Mrs. Richards watch. I'm surprised we're still here, to be honest. So my first signature guitar is going to be called the Myra, which might offend some people. And if it does, I don't care.
Yeah.
So watch this space. The Myra will be coming out. Named it after a fucking shower. Might have to rethink that. Literally just thought it's a shower. Yeah, we're bringing out the Myra, 8.5 kilowatt. She's a beast. Right, shut up, Paul. My new safety specs. They are actually magnifiers. I'm a 0.75 prescription for reading because I'm old, which is fine as long as I don't look around because I'm likely to be sick everywhere. This is more of that steamed eucalyptus. It's brilliant. I really like it. For such a cheap fretboard, it is. It sounds up super smooth. It looks nice. It's grainy, it's interesting. And it's £3.50. Go and sell out Stu Mac. Unlike my kids, it behaves. Lovely. That nut is a tiny bit overhanging, but we'll just sand that off in a minute. That's not a problem. Hope you didn't mind the Christmas specials too bad. The humour was a little bit dark, although I've started this episode quite dark, let's be honest. I'm relaxing now. I'm relaxing on YouTube, so, you know, stick around. It's going to get dirty. So I'm just making sure that those holes do line up nicely with my nut slots, and they do. So everything's going to be a nice straight pull. That's cool. I'm going to preliminarily just put some marks on here. And I think about there looks good. Couple of pilot holes, we're away. I might get some shitty strings out and we'll string this up and just see if it strums. That's a good start, isn't it? Then we'll come back and do some electriceries. Incidentally, all the hardware, I don't know if I mentioned it, it's all come from Geico. It's very nice from what I can tell so far. They didn't actually sponsor this video. I had to buy this lot before they trusted me to send me some more gear. If you're watching Geico, get on board, come on. Genuinely, if I try something, if they send it to me and it's shit, you just won't see it on the channel. I won't give a bad review, but if it's crap, I won't use it. And everything I've used so far on the Warlock build and all the rest of it, it's been really nice. And really mid-range price for the same quality for what you get for a lot more money. High prices for guitar hardware baffles me in 2025 and 2024 because the quality of the lower end gear is so much better now than it used to be. You just don't need to spend 130, 140 quid on a bridge. You can buy a brilliant bridge for 40, 50 quid that looks the same, just underneath hasn't got the name on it. So we're mounted. Let's get some strings on. I've got no idea how to do this bit. Ready? And a cinematic fade back in. That was a little bit laborious, but actually I've done worse. I haven't done much setup. I've sorted out the Alchemy strings. My nut has not been adjusted. Let's turn off tuna fish or whatever the fuck it's called. I haven't intonated everything. All my saddles are as far forward as they can go. But I just thought I'd just check, just to make sure everything is fine. We're nicely centered up. Everything's looking nice. My frettings are good. All I've got to do now is wait by the letterbox for my stacked pot to come. Should we have a little look? Should we have an update on the stacked pot? We've got it. That means you'll get it when you fucking get it, mate. And it's Christmas, so fingers crossed, that is 2024. So I'm going to take this guitar apart, painfully. It's pretty well sealed. I'm going to sand it. I didn't want to feel the grain on this body. I like the pits and the holes and the fact that it's haggard and old and takes after its maker. But I do need to get a bit of a sheen on the acrylic. I'd normally finish those two items in very different ways. And doing that with some sort of border, very difficult. I'm just going to sand the whole thing up to 1000 grit. And then I'm going to polish it and I'll see what it looks like. I think in the future I probably will fill these and then polish it up normally like a gloss guitar, something I have to master this year. Yeah, anyway, I'll take it apart, I'll do a little bit of close-up of some sanding, all right, so you can get your nipples out, and then we'll come back and we'll have some fun putting it together. When you build a guitar, the biggest misnomer, if that's even a word, is when you put the guitar together, you do it all, you've done your neck depth to spec, everything's right, your bridge is there, you put it together, it should strum and be lovely, but it never is. You put it together, you string it up, it's always a dog, and you have to fettle it and make love. Trim your nuts, like every modern man does. Adjust your bridge, intonate. Do you know what I mean? I was going to get really rude then. It's just falling out of my mouth today, it's falling out. On we go to a bit of sanding in my new sanding station. I know. We've come to the stressful bit. It's not always stressful, but actually I've already strung this guitar up once. I know it all works, so it's all going to be fine. My stacked pot has arrived in the post. The correct stacked pot with the correct width shaft. You've got to have a fat shaft for that knob. I'm going to put this together. I've done some laser engraving. I've put my name on the bad boy because there's not a lot of room on the head of Bezos's rocket. Fuck off, Fred. I'm going to get this guitar wired up and I'm going to speed through it with little Dave filming it on the side. It should be quite a simple little wire up, really. There's not a lot going on, is there? A bit like upstairs. Cue music. That was the mother of all speedy uppies. Look at my Headless Telecaster thing. I'm gonna have to go home now and film a demo with this. You know as well as I do, that's the worst part for me, because I'm not the best guitar player in the world, but fuck me, what an attractive little munter. She is an oxymoron. She is beautiful and yet stupid. There is literally a 70-mile-an-hour hurricane going on out there at the minute. Absolute maniacy. Is that a word? I don't give a fuck. Anyway, there's the guitar. She's all finished. The back's all looking rather pleasant, all looking rather spanking. My oak neck, I'm particularly in love with the oak neck. I can get it extra skinny because the wood is extra tough. It's like Mrs. Richards' toenails. Tough as you like. I hope that car alarm doesn't come across in the video. That's going to piss me off. Stacked pots, can do one. Not particularly happy with a stacked pot. Probably won't use that other one I've got in the drawer. It's alright for an emergency. It kind of worked. Everything switches nice. Let's just get on with the demos. Thanks for watching this one, everyone. Happy New Year, by the way. If I'm timing this correctly, this is the first video in January. So well done. Next week, we're starting Charlie Starr's Telecaster, which is going to be pretty cool, actually. That one has been ramping up over a long time, and I'm really looking forward to it now. Doing a lot of homework. I'll be getting it as close as I can to Charlie's Telecaster. We'll be having a go at a few weird techniques. If it's not identical and you get a bee in your bonnet, I don't want to fucking know. Do it differently yourself. But I'll see you next week. Anyway, be lovely to everyone. No one likes a prick.